Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to our live call-in show where we hope you to have viewers like you phone us and tell us what you think of what is happening in the news recently. I just nicknamed this show Bitch, Bitch, Bitch because that's what we get a chance to do. Are you disgusted with what is happening in the world today? Are you sick and tired of what you hear on the TV news every day? Are you bored with hearing the same old platitudes from people up on the hill saying what we need to... They never tell you what it is that we really need to do, just what we need. Don't tell me what this country needs. Tell me what you would do to fix it. Yeah, if you had the power. Is gun control your problem? What would you like to see happen? If crime and violence is in the streets, is it? What is your solution? Does it seem like we are in a race war? Doesn't all lives matter? Are all the police everywhere feared and mistrusted? Or are there just a few rotten apples in the barrel that spoil it for all the good police officers? Is that what's bothering you, Bucky? Politicians don't seem to have anything but empty platitudes to hand the American voters. It is time that we, the people, speak up with our solutions and tell the Capitol Hill what we want. Our live call-in phone number, soon to be on the screen, is 717-846-5067. I'll be back in about 30 seconds. Roll credits. Welcome back, everyone. Thought I'd make it a little bit different by just giving a little teaser before the credits started. So I hope you are feeling well today and you're not too sickened by all the bad things that you hear on the TV news and read in the newspapers. Myself, I hate like heck to watch anything that's on any of the news. I especially hate having to watch the local news. I mean, I don't want to find out that there was a drive-by shooting or someone was murdered a couple of blocks away from me, so I forget. No, maybe I'm better just to be kept in the dark. So anyway, like I said, this is a live TV show. The number should be on the screen. Please keep in mind, though, that if you are going to phone in and voice your opinion about anything, then please remember that there is a 7-second delay from what you say in the telephone to when it will come on your TV. So it'll be very confusing if you say something and then you don't hear it on your TV. So we suggest that you turn down the volume on the TV. Now, I had one of the things that I'd planned on doing today is I was planning on going and seeing the new movie Star Trek, and giving you a nice non-spoiler review of the thing. But, you know, when it gets that hot out, I didn't even want to step out of the house. So hopefully in the next program, I will review the new Star Trek. And this is coming from someone who is a dyed-in-the-wool Trekkie. You know, of the original series, I've seen each one of the things probably, well, at least a dozen times, and probably can tell you most of the dialogue from most of the stories that are out there. Anyway, I've got a question for you. Very often you hear people talking about people that do heroic deeds. There's things in the news like some guy will stop and rescue someone on the freeway that's crashed or something, with putting his own life in danger. And you often hear people say, well, what is a hero? Well, a hero is someone that goes beyond the call of duty. But I'm thinking, what really is our duty? What is our duty to our fellow man? I mean, is it our duty to risk our lives? If we go out of our way to help someone, are we a hero, or is it just something that's expected? That's just something that was going around in my mind after seeing this thing on a number of people that were on the freeway where this kid in this convertible actually flipped his car over, and all of the people, even though it was leaking gas, all these cars stopped and they helped flip his car upright and get him out of the thing. So, are they heroes, or are they just everyday people? So right now, our lines are open, and if you've got anything to say about any of the news items that have been on for the past week or so, please give us a call, and the number is 717-846-5067. Last week, also, I spoke about a new series that was on CBS I believe it was on Monday at 10 p.m. Called, I called it a true documentary expose. But I was just having a little bit of fun with the people. It's called Brain Dead, and it's set in Washington in the present day with the elections, and they mention Hillary, and they mention Bernie and Donald and everything. So you know it's supposed to be happening in real time. And the actual story, it's almost a science fiction thing. Some meteor lands near Washington, D.C., and all these bugs are inside of the thing, and they swarm all over Washington, D.C., and they get in people's brains, mostly politicians, which I think is very, very plausible. And I thought, gee, it's supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek show that's on, but son of a gun, it would explain a lot of the ways that the people act in Washington, D.C. Some of the senators and all the elected officials, and it's worth watching. It really is. It's called Brain Dead, and I believe it's on CBS at 10 p.m. and I can't remember if it was on Sunday or Monday, but it's worth watching. Okay, I have one other little question for you. Now, for those of you that have been stopped by the police for using cell phones while driving, I'm quite sure that even though you try to hide it, they seem to catch you. And, well, let's face it, it is kind of dangerous to be looking at your cell phone or texting while you're careening down the street at 50, 60, 70 miles an hour and not knowing what the heck is in front of you. So the police keep a close eye out for people that are doing this. But in my view, from just my opinion, I think there's something else that is just as dangerous that people never ever seem to get any tickets for. Except for driving by using cell phones, what about in all the new cars you have nowadays, the front console display? Well, you can actually click on your telephone on the console display that's right down here. You can look at your GPS, which takes your sight off of the thing, off of the road that you're driving on, and you have all these other distractions that are currently being built into the front console of an automobile. So why shouldn't people that are looking at their front console get tickets just like the people that are talking or texting on their cell phones? And why is it that the manufacturers of the automobiles make it easier and easier to be distracted by putting all this fancy stuff that is not what do they call it, heads-up display, where you can actually look at it through the windshield? They put it so you always have to look down and away. Seems to me that the police should be looking at all the distractions that are in a car and being put there by the manufacturers. But that's just my opinion. Like I said, this is a live TV show, and the number is 717-846-5067. Let's see, what the heck else have we got here today? Have you ever thought to yourself, especially when you look at some of the lotteries that we've got on nowadays? I mean, it looks really, really inviting. And especially that last one we had with the Powerball with $1.3 billion. You know, you think of all the things that you could get for $1.3 billion. However, I bought one, I will admit. And I was a winner. I actually figured out the Powerball and one number, and I got a whopping $7. But I would have thought that I'd at least get $100 for that. But, you know, all of us think about hitting it rich, someday, and living in luxury and having everything we wanted. But have you ever really thought that eventually that you might grow tired of all that, that money and fame? Now, a friend of mine, way back in Chicago, he finally made his pile, and he got himself a mansion on Butler and Chef, and he was living in the latest style. But I ran into him the other day, and he was eating in a greasy, run-down bar. I'm sorry. Tickle in my throat. Have to apologize for that. Anyway, he was sitting there eating away in this greasy spoon, and in front of the place was his big limousine. You know, and I said to him, you know, hey, buddy, you got so much money. How come that you're in here eating beans? And he told me, after you've been having steak for a long time, beans taste fine. And after you've been drinking champagne and brandy, you're going to settle for wine. He said, the world is funny and the people are strange and the man is creature of constant change. And after you've been eating steak for a long time, beans taste fine. I thought, gee, that's really, you know, it's something to think about. Well, then, you know, a little later, I ran into another friend of mine in a rowdy old Clark Street bar, and he said, friend, is it true what I heard about you, that you married a beautiful 18-year-old shapely movie star? And he goes, uh-huh. Yet here you sit, trying to make out with some old barfly that's too old and ugly to be true. But he said, Doug, you're still a young man, so sit down and I'll explain it all to you. He said, after you've been having steak for a long time, beans taste fine. And after you've been drinking champagne and Chavas Regal, you're going to settle for Thunderbird wine. He said, the world is funny and the people are strange, and man is a creature of constant change. And after you've been having steak for a long time, beans taste fine. Well, for anyone that's been around for a while, that was a song that was recorded many years ago by Shel Silverstein. And it has a ring of truth to the thing. You can get tired of luxury, and you want to go back and go back to the beginning. I guess that's why you hear of so many people that have got won the lottery, and they've gone through it in almost no time at all, and they're right back where they were, probably more in debt than before they won it. So maybe it's better to bear the ills we have than to run off to others that we know not of. I think I also told you last week about a movie called 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi, which was actually, it was a true story, and it was written by one of the people, the soldiers at Benghazi, and how they struggled, yelling and screaming for help from anyone for 13 hours before anyone came to help them out, mainly because they thought it would look bad if anyone from the U.S. troops came in to save their people's lives. But anyway, it's the kind of a movie that when you see it, you kind of stamp your hand on the floor and you go, what the heck was wrong with all these people? All the way up the chain of command, they really did nothing. And it was only the efforts of these 6 soldiers, or that actually they were contractors, that disobeyed orders because they were at CIA base there, and actually went to help the people. So, it kind of makes you wonder where you hear all these stories that, never leave anyone behind, and we take care of our soldiers, but it does kind of make you wonder whether or not who is taking care of our soldiers. Now, if you want to see another movie. Now, these are, you can get them in Redbox and rent them. It's called Eye in the Sky, which is basically a fictional story that's very close to Benghazi story, and that more in detail, although fictionally, tells about what you have to go through in the way of chain of command to get anything to happen. So that's something you might want to watch actually before you watch the 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi. So everyone is bitching today about gun control and what they're going to do about it. There are all kinds of opinions on what gun control is. Some NRA people will say, well, to them, gun control is being able to hit what you aim at. And I'll get back to that with an instance in the news that was recently. But anyway, everyone is afraid of the number of guns that we have got in the United States. And certain people will come out and say, well, we should make it against the law to purchase assault weapons. Others say, well, what we should do is that we have got to confiscate all of the weapons. And of course, then everyone's screaming, you're trying to take away our guns, our constitutional rights. But do we also have a constitutional right to shoot innocent people? Well, that's not really the point of this. It's the idea by many people that it is an absolute right that we can have any cotton-picking gun that we want. If we want a bazooka or rocket-propelled grenade, an automatic machine gun, then we should be able to we should be able to own them. Myself, being a gun owner, okay, that really likes guns but hates hunting, isn't that strange? I don't. But loves target shooting. Like I said, I love guns. I love to go to the range and kill a few targets that are there. But do I want to see guns taken out of the hands of everyday citizens? Well, there's a yes and a no to that. Now, I was seeing on the news the other day about the police department getting this call from a civilian saying that there are two men that are in the street. They seem to be arguing with one another, and there was one of them had a gun. And so they immediately dispatched the police department, and they came around, and sure enough, there was two men sitting in the street. But they didn't see any gun at the time. But the police told them, show me your hands. So one guy, he just continued to sit there, sort of in a daze. And this other guy, he did exactly what he was told. He laid down on his back, he put his hands in the air, and he started saying that there is no gun here. I am I work at a, what is the word they use? Anyway, at a center for people with disabilities. And the kid that was sitting there beside him had run away or walked off, however you want, from the thing, and he was his guardian, I guess, and he came to find him and take him back. Well, in the meantime, the kid starts messing around with his hands, and one of the police said, "He's got a gun. He's loading up his gun." In the meantime, the custodian of this person, still laying on the ground about 3 feet from the guy, having his hands up, who happened to be black, okay? And he's yelling, "There's no problem here. There is no gun. That's just a toy." With which one of the cops came around and decided that, oh, maybe he did believe the guy that was laying there with his hands up, so he was going to shoot the person with disabilities and save his life. Except he pumped off 3 rounds. Well, he didn't hit the guy that was sitting there and not moving with the first 2 rounds, but he managed to shoot the custodian that was laying there with his hands up 3 feet away in the leg. When the guy, it was sorted out, and they came over to the guy that was laying there bleeding in his leg, he asked the cop, "Why did you shoot me? I had my hands up." And the cop just says, "Well, gee, I don't know." And they interviewed the guy from the in the hospital, but the mere fact that this cop, who they said was kind of on the new side, pumped off 3 rounds at a guy that is sitting still, didn't hit him at all, and 3 feet away hit the guy that was taking care of, a totally innocent person. Now, what I said before about gun control is being able to hit what you're shooting at, you're aiming at, that is true. And it should be true for civilians as it should be for cops. If cops can't hit what they are aiming at, then they need to go back for more training or shouldn't be allowed to carry weapons. I know you're saying, well, that sounds kind of radical. No, it's not. Look in the news at some of the people that have been shot by police. Oh yeah, they fired off 18 rounds and never hit the guy. Well, if you're firing off 18 rounds and you don't hit the person that you are aiming at, that certainly is not gun control. And most certainly that any police officer that can't hit what he's aiming at should have his guns taken away from him, as should civilians. If a person goes into a gun store and says, "Hey, I want to buy a 9mm," and he goes through all the paperwork and everything, no matter if he's legal or not, my opinion is he shouldn't be allowed to go out of that store with a gun in his hand until he takes a proficiency test, until he can put 6 rounds in a bullseye that's about that round at, at least 20 feet, then he shouldn't be handling weapons. But that is a lot of the problem now. People hear about all the violence, and the first thing they want to do is go out and buy a weapon to protect themselves. Well, the old saying goes, and I think it's true, you're probably more likely to be shot by your own gun than you are by someone else. If you're not willing to shoot someone that is attacking you, then you shouldn't be carrying a gun. Simple as that. Use it or lose it. But that doesn't mean that you should go out and shoot everyone in sight. I mean, a gun is used for self-protection. And in a situation where you really do feel in danger for your life. All that being said, if you've got someone that's got a gun in their pocket, or a woman that's got a little 32 in their pocketbook, in their purse, what good does it do them if they're scared to pull the thing out? So I think that before people go out and buy guns and are allowed to buy it, there should be a certain level of competency displayed by the people that you can at least reasonably hit what the heck you're aiming at. So what do you think on it? Is that a solution to the problems? Our phone number is 846-5067. What do you think? Are you in for gun? Are you in for gun control? Is that what you want to see? How about drunk drivers? If you kill someone while driving drunk, should you be arrested and charged for murder? How about should that person be charged with indifferent homicide or whatever? Should that person be punished? Well, in my opinion, hell yes. Now, if a person is arrested for drunk driving, but he hasn't hit anyone and no one is injured, then, okay, you take away his license for about 6 months. Well, maybe that's a little on the harsh side, but we'll just say we'll take it away for 3 months to really get you thinking about drinking and driving. However, it'll be a different story if you really do get into an accident and someone is injured or, worse still, killed. What should be the punishment? If there's no punishment, then why should people stop drinking and driving? I mean, if they think that, oh, I'm probably going to get a $250 fine this time, that's no real deterrent to someone drinking and driving. So you've got to make the punishment fit the crime. Now, what is your opinion on this? Like I said, this is a call-in show, and our number is on the top of the screen. So let me tell me what you think. Let's see, we got any other calls? Yeah, I guess that no one really cares. But then again, isn't that somewhat typical of a lot of the country today? People are just, they don't care. It's someone else's problem. Let them figure out the solution to the problem. Let them take care of it, and don't bother me with your silly ass problems, which also happen to be my own or their own. Since it seems that I have plenty of time, since we have no talkative viewers, I think I'd tell you what is going on in Pennsylvania non-believers for upcoming events. Well, we call these table events because we go around to the various events and we set up a table and we have all our information on it about Pan and all the different chapters that we have all over Pennsylvania, and there really are quite a few of us that are out there, and there's quite a few of organizations within PA and especially central PA. But anyway, on this July 30th, Saturday, we're going to have the Central Pride display. I was going to say parade, but it's an event that's set up in Riverfront Park in Harrisburg. And it will be open from 10 a.m. Well, actually set up. Will be there. Anyone that wants to help set up can be there at 11 a. God, I can't get it right. At 8 a.m. And be closing at 6 p.m. That's usually a very, very nice place to go. They have a lot of refreshments and food and everyone there. That's the only thing that I know about for this July. Now, let me just check out if there's anything else here they got handled. No, it looks... Well, let's look at head to August. And we'll look to the 7th, which is Sunday, and that's the York Equality Fest in Penn Park in York. Another place where we will have our tables set up. It runs from, as I said, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. and there's a lot of nice people that participate in the event. And August the 13th, which is the following Saturday, set up will be at 7 a.m., which we invite everyone to come and help if you want, set up our table and our tent. At the Red Lion Street Fair in Red Lion Square in, of all places, Red Lion. Who'd have thunk? Is right. Let's see, do we have anything else here? Yep. Great. Those were our table events.
Pride in the Park is also going to be Sunday, August 21st. It's up on the screen now.
Oh, okay.
That's Lehigh Valley, Allentown area.
I guess I didn't have it on my... Oh, yeah, actually I did, but all it says is Allentown on it. And when I cut and pasted, I must have cut more than I pasted. But let's tell you about a few of the actual Pennsylvania non-believer meetings that we've got. The Lancaster PAN meeting is on the 27th of July. The next York meeting is on the 6th of August. Now, I've got something else here. At the next York Pan meeting, which will be Saturday, 6th of August, starting at 10 a.m., we will be having a guest speaker talking about end-of-life choices and hospice care. Now, since we have our meetings in the carriage house behind the Universalist UUCY church, we invited the members of the church to join in, and they've been invited. But this woman will be talking about DNRs, or the do not resuscitate instructions that people will leave with hospitals where they will go, and it will be clear and definitive in writing that says, if I am in an almost vegetative state, or I'm seriously ill, do not resuscitate me, DNR. And they got it in writing. Yet some of the hospitals, they think that, no, they don't have to abide by that person's last wishes, or by their will, or the living will, or any other document, that it's their religious belief. There, I said it. I mentioned the word religion. Their religious belief that you have to try and save the person. Even if they're going to live in agony for their remaining days, they've got to revive them. They've got to resuscitate them. And I think that is a sad state of affairs. I think that anyone who has sort of written out his will and his last wishes has the right to determine what the heck is going to happen. In the case, of extreme pain and agony. Now, of course, if someone's got the Asian flu and says, "Oh, no, do not resuscitate me," or "I want to die," sorry, you're out of luck. But there are plenty of people that are terminally ill and are suffering until they die, and those people have been brought back to life by doctors time and time again. And, well, it's neither legal nor fair. Anyway, sorry, we went on for this. Our next meeting will be in Lebanon on August the 10th, then Harrisburg, actually Lemoyne, the 11th of August, then in Chambersburg on the 16th of August. Oh, yeah, now I see on the bottom of the thing, Pride in the Park, Lehigh Valley, Sunday, August the 21st, Cedar Beach Park, Allentown. I guess we posted that in the wrong place, or we cut it in the wrong place, who knows. So anyway, and by the way, one other little thing here, the meeting at Lancaster, which we said was on 27th of July, the woman that will be talking about the end-of-life choices and hospice care has already tentatively planned on being at the Lancaster meeting. Now, if you are wondering where the heck all these meetings are, you can look for us on our Facebook page. which is PA nonbelievers.org. Now that's all one word, PA nonbelievers.org for organization. If you come up and put in com, I believe you get something else there, or if you put in net, there's something else. But that is our web page, and we usually will have all our events that are listed there. And if we don't have it listed right there, we'll have a link to it. And plus, at that place, that site, if you missed any of the older Free Thought Forum broadcasts, they are also listed there where you can stream them live, or I should say you can stream them being recorded. Now, right now, we're actually being streamed worldwide. Well, I should imagine there's a few countries that we're not, maybe like Pakistan or something. But we really are broadcast worldwide. So we're not just some little group of people that are here in York, PA. We're all over the place. We're like a plague. Anyway, let's see. What have we got? See if there's anything else here. I actually run out of things to say, but let's see if I wrote any more notes to myself. Jim, do you have any anything that you would like to talk about?
I wish I did, but...
Of course, yeah. Throw me under the bus. Yeah, that's it. So, what about crime and violence in the street? Has anyone got any answers for that? Yeah. Does it seem like we are in a race war and that maybe no lives matter? What can you do? I guess that some of our viewers, well, let's make that most of our viewers here don't wish to discuss it, and they don't wish to tell us what they would do to fix the problems that we have today. So next time I hear someone whining like, "Oh, yeah, there was a shooting down in Alabama," like that, what can we do? Oh, we'll have to take away everyone's guns. Well, you know that's not going to work. Absolutely not. So, but let's just say, for the sake of argument, that all the naysayers out there that don't like guns of any kind in anyone's hands whatsoever, and they say, okay, we're going to get a law passed that says that we are going to confiscate every single gun in America. And I have heard people say that before. Yeah, that's what we should do. We should confiscate all the guns. The people are trying to take our guns away. In reply to that, I say, just exactly how would you take everyone's guns away from them? Are you just going to ask them nicely, hey, please turn in your guns, all your guns, and even if we gave you fair market price for the things, we want to take all of your guns away. Do you think that would happen? Do you think that people would be standing on their front doorstep with their gun in their hand, waiting for the gun control cop to come by and say, "Oh, here's my my gun. Here, be pleased to take this." Of course, yeah. Of course not. It would never, ever happen. And even if you got rid of all the people, all the army personnel that are overseas, and brought all the soldiers home and lined them up in every single town, and we sent them door to door to confiscate people's guns, how many guns do you think that you would actually collect? What percentage? Maybe 1 or 2%? Because that's about it. Then no one's going to let you into their house to tear their house apart to search for guns. So the thought that you can make anyone give up their guns, it's ridiculous. The best thing that you can do is just make it maybe a little more difficult to buy guns. Now, I'm not against that. I think that everyone should be able to go out and responsible person, non-crackpot person, be able to go out and purchase a gun. But like I said, they got to be a responsible person, and they got to know how to heck to shoot it and hit what they're aiming at. That is gun control. Now, you hear people say that, oh, another thing is that you want to have people undergo more stringent vetting, you want them to check into their criminal background. Hey, that's fine with me. I've got nothing to hide whatsoever, and that they can vet me all they want. If you can't pass the test, then you also should not have a gun. Now, what would you like to see happen here? I mean, sooner or later, things are going to change. They are probably going to you ban assault weapons. Isn't necessarily fair, but considering all the people that have been killed by them, you can't say that it's unreasonable for some people to think that. You know, if the problem is too many guns in this country, then we should take away the guns. Now what we should do is take away all the nutcases. But the next thing that people come out with and say, what we should do is we should look into the psychiatric history of these people. Now, gee, that makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? That you're going to look and see whether or not someone has a mental health problem, or that before you can buy a gun, that you have to go see a psychiatrist or a psychologist and talk to them and see whether or not they think that you are stable enough to own a gun. Guess what, people? There have been people, other people that have been in psychiatric problems, seen the psychiatrists every day for the last 10 years. And the psychiatrist still can't figure out what the heck is wrong with them. Do you honestly think that you're going to go to a psychiatrist or a psychologist for 2 hours or 1 hour, whatever it is, and have them judge you as competent to own a weapon that you present no threat whatsoever to society? If they can't do it in years, what makes you think that they can do it in 1 hour visit with the psychiatrist? So psychological background checks, that doesn't work unless you actually have previously been getting psychological testing, or that they some court has assigned you to a psychiatrist. No matter what the simple solution is, what seems like the simple solution is, it'll never work, because there is no simple solution any more than there is a simple solution to making everyone love everyone else, everyone get along with everyone else. Could we start a third world war? Polish off most of the people? There are a few billion people there, and then surely the people that are left would want to come together. That's not very likely. That's never going to happen. All it will do is just make bigger enemies out of the other people that they were fighting with. So what can we hope for? Okay, well, I guess we could hope for a meteor or a comet to strike the planet Earth and kill off 4 or 5 billion people, good, the bad, the ugly, all of them, and then, and probably only then, when it is in everyone's best interest for everyone to come together and help one another, then you might see that happen. But in the meantime, Jesus is not coming, and God is not going to punish you, and all those people who think that they are going to heaven, don't count on it. So all I got to say is we thank you for tuning in, and I won't thank the millions of people that didn't phone in, but I'm thinking about you anyway. Don't forget, next in a couple of weeks here, our next show will be on, and don't forget about our Lancaster, about our York meeting, which is on August the 6th, on Saturday at 10 a.m.
And Central PA Pride on the 30th of July in Harrisburg. Central PA Pride Fest in Harrisburg, Saturday, July the 30th. How much time have I got left? Slightly under 2 minutes.
Slightly under 2 minutes. I've got to write down more trivia, or more people have got to call.
Well,
I figured there'd be...
Central PA Pride coming up on the 30th of July.
Yeah.
York Equality Fest on the 7th of August. That, incidentally, is the third year for the York Equality Fest, and it's been getting bigger each year. Start out in a small area, move to a larger street, out to a whole park all to itself. And also Red Lion Street Fair on the 13th of August, and Pride in the Park on the 21st of August. A lot of different tabling events coming up.
And this will give you an idea that PA Non-Believers and also the Free Thought Forum, we really do support gay, lesbian, community, women's rights, and the women's rights to choose. And it's equality that we look for, both in our lives, in our religions, or no religion, whatever the case may be. So, how much time have I got left now?
22 seconds.
We've got 22 seconds. Boy, isn't it just dragging on? I mean, you're just sitting there in anticipation to see what I'm going to say next. But unfortunately, it's nothing. And have a good day. Tune in again. We enjoyed having you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.